I know a lot of people talk about undiagnosed mental issues and mental illnesses, or even diagnosed mental issues and all of that. But what a lot of people don't mention is undiagnosed abilities and undiagnosed gifts that people are born with. And some of us, we were always different and we didn't know why we were different. Like some of us, we didn't learn most of this stuff from a book or from a channel. Some of us were already born like this. This is why I said it's undiagnosed, because nobody knew. We were just born a certain way and we stood out, because this is something that nobody tells you when you're born. They don't tell you, oh, this person has a heightened conscious level. This person is more advanced in certain areas. This is all things that you got to find out on your own, and that people outside of you have to find out on their own. Like certain people just don't fit the mold. But in this world, everything is placed in a box. Everything has to be done a certain way in this world. For example, like school. When you go to school, everybody has to learn the exact same way and do the exact same things. So they'll make everybody read a certain book. But what they fail to realize is that most people don't learn from reading. Some people are more visual learners. Some people have to learn some people have to learn in an alternative way, but they don't take that in consideration. Because some kids, people might look at them as like they're slow or they have a disability or something, but it's all just because they're tapped in on a different frequency or conscious level. Their awareness might be heightened, but nobody knows it because it's undiagnosed. They just put a label on it as like autism, or they just label it with something with a negative connotation on it. So people will think you're slow or you're weird. It's just that you're on a different frequency pattern. And this is why some people are just different. And they were always different, even as kids. As far as they can remember, they were different. It's because you were born like this. Some of these people had to learn most of this stuff. They had to watch certain things or read certain books, but some of us were just born like this. This is why some of us were always different. We always analyzed our reality differently. Like some of us, we don't just act off an impulse. We don't just do things. We analyze everything. And if you was to do like a social experiment, not a social experiment, but if you was to like see the difference between a person like that's different and a average normie type of person, if you was to go in their consciousness and just record it, I'm sure it would be a difference. Like the average person is not analyzing as much stuff as somebody who's different. Like when you stand out and you're born different, it's like you analyze everything. You're not just going along. Like everything is, you're analyzing it and you're oversimplifying it. Some of us are just different, the way we process things. And a lot of people, they really think everybody's the same, but we're all different. Certain people want you to do things that you're not even, that you don't even want to do. Like certain people will want to force you to do certain things that just because they're good at it and just because they're able to function well in it, they would expect you to. But certain people are tapped into different things. Like some people might be extremely good in certain areas, and certain people might be good at different things. Like there's a lot of celebrities and famous people who they weren't good at a lot of things, but it was certain things that they were gifted in. Like they were just extremely talented in certain areas. And that's how some people are. Certain people are just different. They might be bad at in certain areas, but there's certain things that you're tapped into that you excel in. But most people don't take the time to consider that. Not everybody's meant to work the same jobs. Not everybody's meant to live the same way. Certain people function better by doing things different. It's like everybody is in their own alternate universe. Everybody's processing everything differently. Everybody's reality is different. You would even see certain people with the same exact job as you. Like if you had a job, you would see people with the same job that you have, but you would see them able to attain more things than you, or they'll be able to afford more things than you, and you would be wondering why. Like you would be wondering like, I work at the same job as this person, but they seem to have more. It seems like they're living better. And that's just how it is out here. It's like everybody's in their alternate universe. And it's just like, for you, things will just be different. Everybody's viewpoint and perspective on this reality is different, but nobody's truly aware. Because like I said, it's undiagnosed. People don't know your conscious level. People don't know your awareness level. You're just born around people, and now people are examining you thinking you're awkward or you're weird. Because they don't know what you're truly tapped into. It's undiagnosed. So it's just left as a question to people. Like, why does this person do this? Why does this person maneuver like this? How come this person isn't like this? How come this person isn't like the average person? And they'll automatically chalk it up to something like a mental illness or something negative, but they don't realize that you're just tapped into something else. You're tapped into a different frequency. So the whole time you have people thinking that you're dumb or you're slow, you might be tapped into there might be something that you excel in, and you probably don't even know that. It's just you gotta tap in with your abilities. Like, there might be something that you're extremely talented at. You might not be good at a lot of things, but there might be that one thing, or not one thing, there might be multiple things that you excel in, but you just don't know. That's why everything in your reality seems so off. It's like unbalanced. Because there's something within you that you excel in. That's why everything is just unbalanced. That's why everything seems off. Because deep down you know that there's an easier way to most of this stuff. And you feel like you're trapped into doing everything a certain way. But deep down in your subconscious, you know there's a different way to maneuver your reality. It's just that you're stuck. And you haven't fully tapped in with it. This is the reason why most people are different. It's something within you that's analyzing this reality differently than everybody else. And the way you view it. The way you do certain things is just different. You know you're not meant to live the same life as everybody else. You know you maneuver differently than everybody else. But this is stuff that goes unnoticed because nobody knows. It's like you're just tapped in on a different level. You might be thinking that everybody's viewing life and reality the same way as you, but they're not. Everybody has their own perspective, so the way you're seeing things in your reality and the way that you compartmentalize things, other people, they just aren't. They view things in a different way. They're living on a whole different frequency and thought pattern than you. So you might view something a certain way, and you can analyze it a certain way, but most people ain't analyzing it They ain't analyzing it the same way you are. Like, we're all different. We all function differently.